Have you ever pondered over the origins of the United States and how it became the superpower it is today? Our journey starts in the 17th century, an era when the New World was just beginning to reveal its potential. English explorers, braving the vast Atlantic, began to establish settlements along the eastern seaboard of what is now known as the United States. These pioneers, driven by the promise of a fresh start and untold opportunities, laid the foundation for 13 unique colonies, each with its own character, yet bound by a common thread, a desire for self-governance. From the bustling ports of Massachusetts to the fertile fields of Virginia, these colonies thrived, nourished by the ambitions and dreams of their inhabitants. However, beneath this prosperity lay a simmering discontent. The English crown, far across the ocean, continued to impose its will on these colonies, often without their consent. This led to a profound sense of injustice among the colonists, sparking a flame that would eventually ignite the American Revolution. The Boston Tea Party, a bold act of defiance against unjust taxation, was a pivotal moment in this saga. It was here that the colonists made their stand, their message clear and resounding: no taxation without representation. This act of resistance, along with countless others, gradually fueled a revolutionary spirit that swept across the colonies. The signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776 marked a turning point in this tale. It was a statement, bold and audacious, that these 13 colonies were no longer subjects of the English crown, but a free and independent nation. This marked the beginning of a long and arduous struggle, a revolution that would test the resolve of these budding states, but ultimately lead to the dawn of a new nation. The American Revolution was a turning point, marking the birth of a new nation, one that would go on to shape the world in ways unimaginable. What was the catalyst that transformed the newly formed United States into a land of opportunity? The answer is twofold: the American Constitution and territorial expansion. In the wake of the Revolutionary War, the founding fathers of the United States realized that a robust framework was needed to govern this new nation. The result was the American Constitution, a living document that still guides the nation today. Ratified in 1788, it established the fundamental principles of governance, including the separation of powers, checks and balances, and the protection of individual rights. Alongside the Constitution, the Bill of Rights was adopted. These first 10 amendments guaranteed freedoms such as speech, religion, and the right to a fair trial, laying the groundwork for the values that the United States still holds dear. But the fledgling nation was not content with its 13 original states. The concept of manifest destiny, the belief that the United States was destined to stretch from coast to coast, drove the country's territorial expansion. This belief, combined with the economic and strategic benefits of new land, led to the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. This single transaction with France more than doubled the size of the United States, paving the way for further acquisitions and westward expansion. Manifest destiny wasn't just about land acquisition, though. It was a philosophy that embodied the nation's spirit of exploration and innovation, a spirit that would later fuel the country's industrial revolution and technological advancement. The American Constitution and expansion weren't just historical events. They were the foundations upon which the United States was built. These cornerstones shaped the country's identity, fueling its growth and transformation into a land of opportunity. They established a nation that valued individual freedoms, embraced change, and believed in its destiny to lead. So, when we ask, what made the United States the land of opportunity? We find that the answer lies in its Constitution and its pursuit of expansion. The American Constitution and territorial expansion set the stage for the United States to become a beacon of innovation and progress. What event tested the very fabric of the young United States and its ideals of freedom and equality? The answer is the Civil War, a conflict that erupted in 1861, pitting the northern states, known as the Union, against the southern states that seceded to form the Confederacy. The root cause of this brutal conflict was the contentious issue of slavery. The South's agrarian economy heavily relied on the labor of enslaved people, while the industrialized North saw the institution as morally reprehensible and sought its abolition. The election of Abraham Lincoln, a president vocally against the expansion of slavery, was the final straw that led the Southern states to secede. The Civil War was the deadliest conflict in American history, with over 600,000 lives lost. Yet amidst the bloodshed came a beacon of hope, the Emancipation Proclamation. In 1862, President Lincoln issued this historic document declaring all enslaved people in Confederate-held territories free. This was a monumental step towards the end of slavery in the United States. However, the end of the war in 1865 did not mean the end of strife. The country now faced the daunting task of reconstruction, of reuniting a nation torn apart by war and addressing the newly freed African Americans' rights. The Reconstruction era, lasting from 1865 to 1877, saw significant strides towards racial equality with the passing of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, abolishing slavery and granting citizenship and voting rights to former slaves. Yet, the era was also marred by fierce resistance from those opposed to these changes, leading to a legacy of racial tension that continues to reverberate in America today. The Civil War and its aftermath were a testament to the resilience of the United States, evolving and growing in the face of adversity. What period saw the United States transition from an agrarian society to a global power? This transformation was largely driven by the Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid industrial growth in the United States during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It was a time of significant change, as the nation moved away from a largely agrarian economy and towards one driven by industry and manufacturing. One of the most profound impacts of the Industrial Revolution was the explosion in the size and power of the American economy. This period saw the birth of major industries such as steel, oil, and railroads, which fueled the growth of cities and created new jobs for millions of Americans. But the Industrial Revolution was not just about economics. It also had far-reaching social and political implications. The surge in industry led to a vast influx of immigrants, forever changing the fabric of American society. It sparked labor movements as workers fought for better conditions and wages, and it set the stage for the United States to become a major player in world affairs. As the United States industrialized, it also began to flex its muscles on the global stage. This was particularly evident during the World Wars. In the First World War, the United States played a decisive role in tipping the balance in favor of the Allies, and its economic and military power was further cemented in the Second World War. The country's industrial might was crucial to the Allied victory, as American factories churned out the planes, tanks, and ships that helped defeat the Axis powers. The World Wars also marked a turning point for the United States in terms of its global influence. They marked the end of the country's isolationist stance and the beginning of its role as a global superpower. The Industrial Revolution and the World Wars propelled the United States onto the global stage, forever changing its course. This was a time of great upheaval and transformation, a period that shaped the United States into the nation it is today. What era marked the United States as a superpower and a champion of civil rights? The answer lies in the mid-20th century, a time dominated by the chilling specter of the Cold War and the fiery passion of the civil rights movement. The Cold War, a conflict of ideologies rather than direct combat, saw the United States and Soviet Union vying for global supremacy. This was not a war waged on conventional battlegrounds, but in the hearts and minds of people across the globe. The United States, with its ideals of democracy and freedom, stood as a bulwark against the spread of Soviet communism. This ideological struggle spurred advancements in technology, science, and espionage, forever altering the landscape of international relations. Parallel to this global chess game, another struggle was brewing on home soil. The Civil Rights Movement, a fight for equality and justice, was transforming the fabric of American society. African Americans, tired of the systemic racial discrimination they faced, began to mobilize, to march, and to demand change. Icons like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks emerged, their names forever etched in the annals of American history. Their actions, along with countless unnamed heroes, led to landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, effectively dismantling the legal framework of racial segregation. The Cold War and the Civil Rights Movement ran on parallel tracks, each influencing the other. The global scrutiny brought by the Cold War amplified the urgency of the Civil Rights Movement. The world was watching, and the United States, priding itself on freedom and equality, had to address its own failures to live up to these ideals. The Cold War and the Civil Rights Movement marked a period of significant social, political, and cultural change in the United States. These two intertwined narratives shaped America's trajectory, cementing its status as a superpower and pushing it towards becoming a more inclusive and equitable society. How has the United States evolved in the 21st century? It's a broad question, yet the answer lies in the intricate tapestry of technological advancements, economic developments, and social changes that have shaped the modern-day United States. As the new millennium unfolded, technology moved to the forefront. The digital revolution saw the rise of the internet, smartphones, and social media, transforming how Americans communicate, work, and play. Silicon Valley became the global hub for innovation, birthing tech giants like Facebook, Google, and Apple, who have redefined the contours of the global economy. Economically, the United States has faced both triumphs and trials. The early years of the 21st century were marred by the financial crisis of 2008, which led to a severe recession. However, the nation bounced back, proving its resilience. The economy diversified, with sectors like technology, healthcare, and renewable energy experiencing significant growth. Globalization and international trade agreements further integrated the U.S. economy with the rest of the world. But it's not just technology and economics that have shaped modern America. There have been profound social changes too. The United States elected its first African-American president, Barack Obama, marking a significant milestone in the country's long struggle for racial equality. The nation has also seen a shift in attitudes towards LGBTQ+ rights, with the landmark Supreme Court decision in 2015 legalizing same-sex marriage across all 50 states. The ongoing battle for gender equality has seen progress too, with a growing number of women in leadership roles across various sectors. Meanwhile, the Black Lives Matter movement has brought renewed attention to the systemic racism that still exists in America, prompting a nationwide reckoning and demands for change. The United States in the 21st century is a nation in constant flux, shaped by technological innovation, economic resilience, and social evolution. It's a complex, ever-changing landscape that reflects the country's enduring spirit of progress and its ongoing quest for a more perfect union. The United States continues to evolve, forging its path in the annals of history. So, what does the history of the United States tell us? It tells us a story of a young nation, born out of a revolutionary idea, maturing through trials and tribulations. From the dawn of this new nation, we witnessed its expansion and the creation of a constitution that has withstood the test of time. The Civil War, a painful chapter, brought about Reconstruction, a testament to the nation's ability for self-improvement. Then came the Industrial Revolution and the World Wars, periods of massive growth and global influence. In the Cold War era and through the Civil Rights Movement, the United States navigated the complex landscape of global politics and social justice. And in modern times, the nation continues to evolve, its history still being written. In essence, the history of the United States is a testament to its resilience, innovation, and progress, shaping the world as we know it today.